Welcome to Edenic Gardens. This is our vision, this is our dream. Come along with us. Because of all the rain and mud, they have not been able to come out until now. Good morning! Today we had a pleasant surprise. On the way home from the gym this morning, we got a call from the well place and they told us that they wanted to dig the well today, which is exciting because they had told us possibly the end of February, but it looks like it's happening in the beginning of February. So we are very excited. Very heavy duty machine. We haven't picked up our RV yet, which worked out since they had to back up into the spot we had it parked. Praying they do not have to dig too deep to find water. The guys digging told us they had to dig 500 feet for someone a few roads down. The cost of that is surely painful. Meaning to figure out a spot and considered having someone to come out to do the water witching. Look it up if you don't know what it is. Some refer to it as dowsing or doodle bugging. It's the practice of locating water underground using a forked stick or metal. What do you think? Is it fact or fiction? Well, we ended up not getting around to doing that, so my husband scraped off the gravel from a spot with his foot, and we prayed that that would be a good spot. They dug a little ditch to contain the mud that will soon be pouring out. As you will see, they had to dig further on in the video for there was a lot of mud. They pumped water down the hole during the digging to prevent overheating of the machine, which is the reason for so much mud. We didn't want the field to be ruined, but I don't think it will be too difficult to fix it when the weather dries. So glad to be getting a well. Because a neighbor came by and stole our well, guys. He's been waiting for a well also, and somehow, I don't know how, he noticed that the well people were here. So he came to have a little chit chat with them, and hopefully they won't take too long because we have nice weather today, although it's a little chilly. But we finally get some sun. We've had rain, and then we have a few days of break, and then we're gonna have more rain. So we're really excited that we get to dig. They did have to dig a ditch into our field so the mud can run off. So we're just waiting. Hopefully it won't be long. The well guys are back and we are ready for action. so thankful this day has finally arrived, and very grateful for the friends that came out to rejoice with us and keep us company while we watch the process. It is amazing what humans are capable of. The science and technology, the inventions of massive and tiny tools to make life a little easier. This well digging truck is incredible and super expensive. Like the YouTube short we put out, it's $1 million, we're told. Very tall. It is interesting how humans can create things far larger than ourselves. They will be inserting shafts down the hole, and each shaft costs $26. There will also be a charge per foot as well as per casing. Pipe casing gets installed into the hole. Water travels through the casing via well pump. The well system gets capped off above ground. There are some essential things to learn before digging a well. One is wells don't always produce enough water. There is the possibility of it running dry. Nature does control the longevity of the water supply, but to help prolong the life of your well, make sure to keep up with any required maintenance. Keeping an eye on the structure and pump system and make repairs as needed. It's an exciting thought to think you can dig a bit and find gushing water. Howbeit, that's not always the case. In some cases, as I stated earlier, you may find yourself digging hundreds of feet. It's good to talk with neighbors and contractors to get an idea of how many feet you may potentially be dealing with. But also keep in mind that your land may differ due to different factors. Consider the intended use for your well. Another factor to consider is a drought. A friend of mine shared how some of our neighbors' wells had gone dry due to a drought some years ago. Fortunately, she has an underground spring and was able to aid them. That being said, it may be worth digging extra to have a good reservoir water just in case. Either way, a well might be worth digging if you can offset some of your water usage from your city supply. And generally, it's a cleaner water supply. So much mud they had to dig further. It looks like a chocolate stream. If only it was. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory right in my field. Another important factor is that you need to test the water yourself to know the quality. In most cases, it can be simple and inexpensive. Many cities offer testing kits and lab results for free. You'll need to access water below the surface to gather a sample for testing. The challenge comes with getting a sample without investing too much into the well first. Completing the well digging only to find the water is poor quality could be an expensive mistake, which I have heard disappointing stories of. In our case, we haven't tested it yet, but we will once it's done. This is another situation that is useful to talk to neighbors. Even though it may not be the exact quality, it still can be beneficial to know. a bit and even let me and my eldest son Giovanni do some of the welding. The truck has a rotary drilling machine and a support truck comes along with it with a couple thousand gallons of water. This machine has a giant boom on it that lifts up in the air, and it's got a drilling head up on that boom that travels up and down about 20 feet that spins and hammers down with hydraulic power. But first they have to level out the machine with stands that come out with a push of a button. This will help stabilize the machine so they can dig a straight hole and not at an angle. It was a lot of work for one day, I suppose, so they'll be back tomorrow. Thank God for these 2 days of clear weather before the rain resumes again. Day 2 and the final day of the well digging, on our way to the land, a 35-minute drive. Is more exciting, for we finally receive our electrical supplies from Home Depot. We have been waiting for a month, had to speak with several managers, including the distribution manager in Atlanta. Turns out they sent some of our supplies to the wrong store twice. So today we will receive delivery from 2 different Home Depot stores in our area. Oh, happy day, because all is well that ends well. The Lord has reason for his timing. Sometimes what we consider a delay is actually for a benefit, blessings in disguise, and if we learn to appreciate them, it will help with the frustration in the process. The remainder of our electrical supplies are here. All the PVC conduits and things needed. Now for another break in the weather, so we can dig and have the conduits put in. Probably going to be another week or two. We'll have to wait and see. Just a fun fact, if you recall from the previous videos, the PVC pipes, or conduits as they're called, for the septic were white, but the electrical conduits, or PVC, are gray. Learning something always. We've got the septic done, getting the well done now. All that's left so we can fully move in is our electric. Looking forward to that sweet day. Securing the smaller supplies for the electrical stuff in our shed for safety and also from the weather. Looks like we won't really be needing this water tank now that we have our well, but it's still good to have it as a backup. We really appreciate our friends for letting us borrow it. as I had imagined it, to be honest. I didn't expect it to be so brown, but of course with all the water they were pumping in the hole, it's only logical that the mud would continue coming up and it would be muddy. But I just have envisioned it differently in my mind. Nonetheless, it's still a very beautiful sight. Just the knowledge of knowing we have our own water, and for free, for life. Hopefully it doesn't run dry. Reminds me about the verse in the Bible about letting the Lord be our fountain of living water. In this whole process, many verses and quotes have come to my mind. It's very interesting how the Lord can draw near us just by the simple things of nature and the simple processes of life, if we're willing to just be still and let Him be our God. Our well is done with the sticker of approval. Now we wait for the water pump installation. Thank you all for joining us and for your moral support. Next up will be the electric. Don't forget to subscribe and share with a friend and give us a thumbs up. The day after it rained, we are very thankful we got it done just in time.